10th anniversary of the commercial oil discovery in Ghana, and also welcome you to this morning's ceremony. It is an honor and privilege to be a part of this gathering as Sector Minister. I wish to emphasize that the government clearly understands that the rate of economic growth and job creation in this country depends heavily on the success of the petroleum sector. In this regard, we are gathered here to celebrate this historic moment, acknowledging that the history of the petroleum industry is very interesting and motivating. It is with a sense of joy that I want to thank the Petroleum Commission for organizing this event and inviting me to be a part of it. First, let me join the teeming mass of Ghanaians and other well-wishers worldwide to congratulate everyone who has contributed to the success we are celebrating today. I wish to express, on behalf of our current generation, our profound gratitude to the dedicated professionals and public officers whose vision, perseverance, and hard work has put Ghana in the league of oil and gas producers of the world. It has been 10 years since Ghana made the historic discovery of oil and gas in commercial quantities. And I guess it's only appropriate that we reflect on the past, the present, and the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's oil and gas industry, though nascent, has evolved over the years dating back to the late 19th century. Fortunately, in 2007, the Jubilee field became the game changer in the upstream operation when a consortium of companies led by Cosmos Energy drilled the Mahogany 1 discovery well and eventually commenced commercial production in record time in 2010. The significance of the Jubilee find is that it is the 5th largest discovery between 2000 and 2010. Just think about it. The 5th largest discovery between the year 2000 and 2010. Following from that period, the oil and gas sector has become a major contributor to Ghana's gross domestic product and government revenue. We have also witnessed the influx of multinational companies in this sector. Over the past few years since the Jubilee discovery, a number of international oil companies have relocated their regional offices to Ghana, thus gradually making Ghana the regional hub of the petroleum industry. Now a little bit of history. Exploration of gas and oil and gas in Ghana began in 1896 in the onshore Tano Basin in the Western region by West Africa Oil and Fuel Company. This effort was stimulated by the sighting of onshore oil and gas seepages found by early explorers in the area. There were lots of exploration activities engaged in by the West African Oil and Fuel Company between 1896 and 1903. In that period, the first documented discovery in Ghana was made with a well of total depth of 35 meters, producing about 5 barrels of oil per day. This attracted a number of international oil companies to the shores of Ghana to prospect for oil. An exploration campaign in Ghana in the 1960s and 70s resulted in a number of discoveries. One of these offshore exploration campaigns in the 1970s resulted in the Salt Pond Field discovery, which at that time remained the only commercially produced field in Ghana. With the establishment of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation in 1983, the passage of the Petroleum Exploration and Production Law 1984, and the promulgation of Petroleum Income Tax Law 1987, exploration activities in Ghana got the much-needed momentum. However, in 2000, the NPP government, under the leadership of His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, took a policy decision that led to the restructuring of the GNPC and the reorganization of its operations. This was to make the corporation focus on its core mandate of exploring for oil and gas. The government at that time introduced transparency in the award of blocks and created an enabling environment for investors. These moves saw a number of independent oil companies such as Cosmos Energy, Tullow Oil, and Hess Corporation acquiring exploration and production rights over areas in deep water. There was a sudden shift of focus from shallow water to deep water areas. Mr. Chairman, it was therefore not surprising that in June 2007, Ghana announced significant discovery of crude oil. There have been several other discoveries since then. With the commercial discovery of oil, the importance of a robust regulatory regime in the oil and gas sector became imperative. The government established strong institutions and promoted good governance to ensure regulatory predictability, thereby reducing investment risk. The decision to focus on the establishment and empowerment of relevant institutions culminated in the creation of an independent upstream regulator, the Petroleum Commission. Thus, the establishment of the Petroleum Commission by Act 2821 was imperative to regulate and manage the utilization of petroleum resources to ensure judicious exploration of the nation's petroleum reserves for the benefit of Ghanaians. Subsequently, a number of laws have been passed. Notable among them include the Petroleum Exploration and Production Act 2016, Act 919, which replaces an existing petroleum exploration law, which was in place before the commercial oil find. The Petroleum Revenue Management Amendment Act 2015, Act 893, which provides the framework for the collection, allocation, and management of petroleum revenue in an accountable and sustainable manner. The passing of these laws has ushered the development of Ghana's fledgling petroleum industry into a new phase. This phase has come with new challenges as the country moves into the actual development, production, and utilization of its oil and gas resources. In this regard, other important subsidiary legislation have been enacted to bring further predictability to the industry. The notable among which are: 1, the Petroleum Local Content and Participation Law, LI 2204, with the overarching objective of enabling Ghanaians to benefit from upstream petroleum business and also expand in-country value creation. 2, Petroleum Exploration and Production Measurement Regulations Law, LI 2246, with the objective of ensuring accurate measurement and allocation of petroleum
forms the basis for the determination of revenue that accrues to the Republic, a contractor, licensee, or the corporation, and Petroleum Commission's Fees and Charges Regulation, LI 2221, to ensure financial sustainability of the sector regulator. Two other regulations, HSC and Data Management Regulations, are near completion and expected to be submitted to Parliament in August 2017 for passage into law. Additionally, a draft General Petroleum Regulations is expected to be passed into law in 2018. To further demonstrate government's commitment to ensuring transparency and accountability, the country has set up a Public Interest and Accountability Committee to deal with challenges relating to the transparency and democratic accountability with respect to the use of petroleum revenue, and had also extended the coverage of the EITI initiative to include oil and gas. Furthermore, the current open door policy for block award is being replaced by provisions in Act 919 with a licensing round or competitive bidding, which is expected to commence in 2018, once the regulations on competitive tendering process is completed. This new system, Mr. Chairman, would not only promote transparency, fairness, and competition, but would also allow the state to award to those bids that promise to maximize economic recovery of Ghana's oil and gas resources. Currently, Ghana has 3 producing fields with 3 FPSOs, namely Jubilee, TEN, and OCTP. The Jubilee and TEN fields are operated by Tullow Ghana Limited on behalf of their JV partners, namely Cosmos, Anadarko, GNPC, Petro SA, whereas Sankofa Fields is being operated by ENI on behalf of their partners, Messrs. Vitol and GNPC. It is expected that development will soon begin on Deepwater Tunnel Cape 3 Points block, being operated by Hess Energy Ghana. We currently have 9 other exploration companies actively engaged offshore in Ghana's hydrocarbons. The onshore Voltaian Basin, covering an area of 103,600 square kilometers, remains one of the major frontiers to be explored. GNPC has begun reconnaissance work to prove the petroleum system in the basin. Mr. Chairman, Ghana discovered oil and gas resources at an opportune time when new sources of energy were required to power the country's economic development. The gas is particularly important as it would serve as a cheaper source of energy compared to liquid fuels, which was then an important component in the country's power generation mix. It was for this reason that within a short period of oil discovery, the country took the necessary steps for the implementation of the Western Corridor Gas Infrastructure Project. Out of this, the Ghana National Gas Company was established to monetize Ghana's natural gas resources. Phase 1, which includes the 60-kilometer offshore pipeline from the Jubilee field to Atuabo, 150 million SCAF's capacity gas processing plant located at Atuabo, and 110-kilometer onshore gas delivery line from Atuabo to Abuaze have been completed and feeding gas to the thermal plants in Abuaze. Future expansion of this facility is being considered to accommodate additional gas production. Discussions are currently ongoing with WAPCO, West African Gas Pipeline Company, for the reverse flow of gas from Aboase to Tema, thus further stretching the reach of this project. The country continues to focus on the development of indigenous gas and is expected to create the enabling environment for further investments into ancillary projects. Ladies and gentlemen, the government is determined that the country will not only be a recipient of direct revenues from petroleum operations, but create value through local content and local participation. To this end, we took decisive steps to create an enabling environment for indigenous Ghanaian companies to thrive. In 2010, the local content and local participation policy was approved by Cabinet, and subsequently LI 2204 was passed in 2013. The local content law seeks to ensure local participation in all aspects of the gas and oil value chain by promoting the optimization of value addition and job creation through the use of local expertise, goods and services, business and financing in the petroleum industry value chain and their retention in country. I am happy to inform this august audience that the Petroleum Commission has made tremendous strides in the implementation of the local content policy and local content regulation. The government, with your support, will continue to implement policies that will ensure that this growth is sustained and increased to much higher levels. Mr. Chairman, there are, however, some challenges that as stakeholders we must overcome through concerted efforts. Indigenous Ghanaian companies and professionals face capacity challenges. The cost and access to capital, which basically erodes significant components of benefits provided for in the regulations to indigenous Ghanaian companies. I know that the Petroleum Commission is not oblivious of these challenges and are working tirelessly with all stakeholders to overcome these challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, the growth of Ghana's petroleum industry has not been without challenges. There is currently a maritime boundary dispute between Ghana and La Côte d'Ivoire, with a final judgment by ITLOS expected by September 2017. The Ghana legal and technical teams have put in their very best efforts. Consequently, we are very hopeful of securing a favorable decision. It is expected that the ruling will provide investors with the certainty they need to make long-term investment decisions in this country. Mr. Chairman, Ghana's oil and gas industry the future of Ghana's oil and gas industry looks bright and more promising in terms of reserves. Following the discovery made in the Jubilee field and other discoveries thereafter, Ghana has within a short period made significant strides in the industry. Although these discoveries have somewhat de-risked exploration activities in the country's sedimentary basin, there still exist numerous investment opportunities in upstream operations due to the emerging nature of the industry. We remain one of the best nations with a favorable fiscal and regulatory regime, transparent and business-friendly government. These achievements are mainly the result of Ghana's enviable record as a preferred destination for foreign direct investments in the sub-region. Our doors are open, and we look forward to welcoming you as partners to Ghana's development in its oil and gas resources. Going forward, we intend to ensure more transparency in the award of contracts and licenses through competitive licensing rounds. Additionally, a petroleum register, which is under development, is expected to be ready within a year. The register will serve as a compendium of important information for the public and investors alike. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate 10 years of the oil and gas industry in Ghana, I want us to look forward rather than resting on our oars. We should be considering Ghana's oil and gas industry the next 10 years. Let us believe that the best is yet to come and feverishly work towards its attainment. I believe in the theory of a future preference. The theory states that the future can and must be better than the present, and we all have a responsibility in making it so. Let me repeat. I believe in the theory of a future preference, which says that the future can and must be better than the present, and we all have a responsibility in making it so. I would therefore like to call on all Ghanaians to collectively support government as we strive towards the development of the oil and gas industry to ensure that maximum benefit is indeed derived from our God-given resource. Mr. Chairman, permit me to reiterate that we are committed to ensuring that oil production in Ghana contributes directly towards improving the standards of living of our people and accelerating socio-economic development in Ghana as a whole. The government is proud of the development of the upstream petroleum industry in Ghana, for which Tullow, as lead operator, Cosmos and GNPC as national oil company play key roles. Mr. Chairman, Nananom, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on this joyous occasion, I say thank you to all individuals and institutions who play critical roles in the development of our fledgling oil and gas industry. I say ayuko to all stakeholders and wish you the best of endeavors on our historic journey as an oil-producing nation. God bless and thank you all.